Mic check check. Yes, sir. Let's go. We're here to talk about Lil Baby's brand new album, It's Only Me. Kind of an interesting release here, kind of something that a lot of people were looking forward to. One of the most popular rappers in the game right now, Lil Baby. And I apologize if some of these videos don't come out smoothly. My computer's having troubles, but I'm trying to get my videos out for the day and possibly stream on Twitch tonight. So hopefully there's not any issues. I'm going to keep moving my mouse around just to kind of recalibrate things. But track by track, I kind of type some things down in my phone notes here, so we're going to kind of go over what I thought. Eventually, when we get through the track list, it got really redundant and kind of boring, and most artists can't really keep up a 10-minute record and keep the consistency up, and I think that can be applied for Lil Baby's album here. That's a fair assumption to say. Real Spill, it kind of sounds like In a Minute. Cool sample, good beat, the limo and the Maybach line was really dope. That's really all I have to say about that song. I'm not going to have too much to say about every song. The production is great on here. I know a lot of people doubted the production and didn't really like it that much, but that's something that's a positive on this album. I think one of the bigger negatives is that there's definitely some repetition here in the cadences and kind of how the track is, how it's kind of the aesthetically laid out. I mean, the production is definitely different, a lot more based on this album than a lot of Lil Baby albums I have heard. And Lil Baby's, by the way, we'll get into that in the end. Okay, Stand on It. It's an okay track. I don't really have much to say about it. Pop Out. Nardo Wick is on here, man. I've really gotten into Nardo recently and found a liking for this guy. This is a guy that, you can't really understand when he raps, but his music is pretty damn good. I actually enjoy some of his tracks a decent amount. But the beat switch was cool at first, but then when I started listening to it more and more, it just kind of got awkward. Nardo Wick abruptly comes on the track. There's no smoothness. I mean, beat switches, changes, and whatever. You can praise them all you want, but if they're not smooth, if they don't bode well with the other artists, then it's like, what's the point? Nardo did kill it. That didn't really ruin his part for me though. He definitely had a good part on this track. Lil Baby didn't do bad, but I think that was honestly Nardo Wick's track. I really like. I mean, the low energy. It gives you this. I don't know how to explain it. Nardo Wick's an artist that is very hard to explain, and this album is a really weird listen, by the way. Talking about Hey, very catchy hook. This is one of the singles. Obviously, the rapping though is really weak on this track. I wasn't a big fan of the rapping. Probably better than a decent amount of the album cuts is the single, even though it's not that strong of a track. California Breeze kind of got like a Jack Harlow type of beat. You could hear a guy like him on this record. Kind of a fire track. I actually kind of enjoyed this track. It gets better every listen. This song does. Perfect Timing features a good guitar on it. But that's about it. That's really the only highlight. Never Hating. Lil Baby was going off on this track, and I don't know what was going on with Young Thug before this album came out, but he was just spamming the fuck out of this album, pushing the agenda, which I respected. They're good friends and all that, but still, I don't. It's a little redundant. Forever features Friday. Friday has such a good voice. I really respect Lil Baby for putting a guy like this on his album. Friday made a pretty big mainstream debut on DJ Khaled's album not too long ago. So, yeah, he's got a really good voice. He's got like a Vori type of voice, Giveon type of voice. Not finished. These beats are crazy. I mean, some of his best ad-libs on the album come from this track. In a Minute, is the next song. A Skip. It's a very generic, overused sample. I'm just not a big fan of In a Minute. Waterfall Flow. When I first heard this title, I was like, oh my goodness, Lil Baby's about to snap on this thing. And, the beat's great. It's a great beat. It's probably one of the better beats on the album. Everything had a great beat drop on it. There were very forced cadences, and he sounded very awkward on the track, but it wasn't terrible. From now on, we have Pluto on it, which is great. I think it's a good track. Future came on the track like crazy. Started out his verse crazy. It's probably one of the best Future features we've heard in a while. Future's been kind of on the decline in terms of his features, but this is definitely a step up for him, in my opinion. Double Down. Nothing special, but it's definitely a listenable track. Cost to Be Alive, another great beat. Very awkward rapping, but it's acceptable when you have good production, I think. He got very excited. I feel like the best way to describe this track is Lil Baby hearing such a good beat that he gets way too excited to rap on it. Rilo Rodriguez comes on the track sounding like Lil Durk. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, those are the only tracks I really wanted to mention. I think he's a good rapper. He's definitely an overhyped rapper. People give him way too much credit, but I really respect him. Like, don't get it twisted. Nothing special to me. I mean, I understand why people like him, for sure. It's a very casual listen, I feel like. I don't think this is an album you can closely analyze. I don't even know why I'm making a review for it. It does get better every listen, though. I mean, some of the tracks are really nice on this thing. Substantial music. I mean, 23 tracks can be seen as a positive and negative in some aspects. Not really a bad song. He has a really good bar on here. Why y'all on my dick? You know that's your hoe's job. That's great from him. I don't know why I love that bar. One of my favorites on the track and the LP. But getting into what Apple Music had to say, for just about as long as he's been rapping, Lil Baby has known exactly what fans have wanted to hear, from the rambling and electric non sequitur of breakout single Freestyle, to mock crying on Drake collaboration Yes Indeed, to the way his gruff and always to the point bar delivery counterbalanced the pain-inspired melody of Lil Durk's across their Voice of the Heroes project. Rare is the Lil Baby miss. On his third official album, It's Only Me, Baby takes great pains to maintain this accuracy. There's a heap of producers on It's Only Me who've yet to really stake their claim as big-ticket collaborators, but the most recognizable, like Wheezy, Murda Beats, Take Eve, Seven Thomas, are certified hitmakers. The production across the project is largely skittering and urgent, the exception being the woozy and ominous horror movie-like score behind Jeremy collaboration Stop Playing. Throughout, Baby is rapping like he's pressed to rid himself of a gaggle of old rhyme books, depositing the best of their contents on record. And the MC is clearly still one of the best slick talkers out there. Though most of the project's songs veer in and out of any singular topic, couplets like raps from Waterfall Flow show Baby's ability to efficiently and effortlessly embody the two most essential components of rap superstardom: men wanting to be you and women wanting to date you. So yeah, overall, I mean, is it his best album? Maybe. I mean, you kind of want him to improve album by album. But I don't know yet. It's a very confusing listen. One of the most odd listening experiences I've had all year. It's not really a negative listening experience. It's just not something that... I don't know. We'll give it time. I for sure, I mean, it's Lil Baby. I think it's going to be on my top 50 at the end of the year. But I'm not sure how high on that list it ranked. First listen, I was like, I don't know, because I was actually going to do an edited reaction, which, by the way, my computer corrupted the files because, like, my computer, like, it completely froze, which I'm hoping it doesn't do here. But yeah, we only have a minute 20. We can make it through this video. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I'm getting ready to review a Walking Dead episode. I think it's episode 15, and then later tonight we are going to have a stream on GZTV Live on Twitch, all lowercase, where I'm playing Madden, GTA, talking to my cousin, possibly listening to some new music, but I might just do that tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do that on stream because my family's coming up for the weekend, down for the weekend technically. But yeah, very odd to listen. Second listen, you know, when I was listening to it on the way to like lunch and stuff, I don't know. It seemed like a top 10 album, but now as I keep listening, is it still going to hold a top 10 album of the year spot for me? I'm not really sure. I can't really tell you guys that. Yeah. I don't know. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it has been GZTV. Going over, reviewing the best releases in the industry. Lil Baby definitely deserved himself a separate album review. Not the craziest record in the world, but definitely enjoyable, and I'm somewhat impressed with some of the songs heard from Lil Baby, so I mean, if you're a rap fan, if you're a street rap fan, I definitely recommend